to Track Talk inside Formula 1. This is Nitin Balaji, and today we're focusing on one of Formula 1's brightest young talents. Join us as we delve into the career of Lando Norris, exploring his journey from karting prodigy to a Formula 1 Grand Prix winner. From his daring overtakes to his off-track antics, we'll uncover the exhilarating moments that have shaped Norris' trajectory in the world of Formula 1. So buckle up as we navigate the twists and turns of Norris' career, from his rookie season to his quest for his first Formula 1 Grand Prix win. Welcome to Track Talk inside Formula 1. Lando Norris was born on November 13, 1999 in Bristol, United Kingdom. Norris started his racing career at the age of 7 when he claimed pole position at his first national event. He raced in many other junior racing classes, leading the pack in many races and winning many championships. In February 2017, Norris was signed as a junior driver with McLaren. Following the announcement, Zak Brown, McLaren's CEO, said that Norris was a fabulous prospect who deserved the award. Later that year, Norris tested for McLaren in a scheduled mid-season test. He set the second fastest lap in the second day of testing at the Hungaroring. In late 2017, Norris became the official McLaren test and reserve driver for the 2008 season. Norris participated in his first official practice session at the Belgian Grand Prix, recording 26 laps. Norris drove in 6 further practice sessions during the year. Norris was contracted to drive for McLaren for the 2019 Formula 1 World Championship, partnering with Carlos Sainz Jr. He qualified 8th on his debut at the Australian Grand Prix and finished the race in 12th place. Norris scored his first Formula 1 points by finishing 6th at the following race, the Bahrain Grand Prix. However, the season was not without its challenges. The Chinese Grand Prix marked his first retirement after damage from a collision with Daniel Kvyat. Further retirements came at the Spanish Grand Prix after collision with Lance Stroll and at the Canadian Grand Prix due to a brake fire. Despite these setbacks, Norris showcased his resilience and talent. He was on course to finish 7th at the French Grand Prix, but ended up 9th due to hydraulic problems. He matched his best result with a 6th place finish at the Australian Grand Prix. Penalties forced him to start from the back of the German Grand Prix, where he later retired due to a power failure. At the Belgian Grand Prix, Norris climbed from 11th to an impressive 5th, but suffered a power failure on the final lap, finishing a sad 11th. Norris demonstrated consistent performance with 3 consecutive point finishes at the Italian, Singapore, and Russian Grand Prix. At the Japanese Grand Prix, he was a stunning 5th before a collision with Alex Albon dropped him to an 11th. The Mexican Grand Prix saw Norris pitting from 7th, only to be withdrawn due to a wheel fitting issue. He ended the season with 3 consecutive point finishes. Norris finished his debut season 11th in the Drivers' Championship with 49 points, out-qualifying his teammate Sainz at 11 of the 21 races. His impressive rookie year earned him a multi-year contract to stay with McLaren until 2022. At the season-opening Austrian Grand Prix, he qualified in 4th place, but was elevated to 3rd after a grid penalty for Lewis Hamilton, making the highest grid position of his career at the time. In closing stages of the race, a 5-second penalty for Hamilton allowed Norris, who set the fastest lap on the final lap, to finish just 4.802 seconds behind, securing his first podium finish. This achievement made Norris the 3rd youngest podium finisher in Formula 1 history. Norris continued to impress at the Styrian Grand Prix. Despite starting 9th due to a grid penalty, he made a remarkable recovery, passing 3 cars in the final 2 laps to finish 5th, calling it one of the best races of his career. A string of 6 consecutive point finishes followed, showcasing Norris's growing consistency and skill. However, the Russian Grand Prix saw him finish 15th after sustaining damage on the opening lap. At the Eiffel Grand Prix, he was running 6th before a power unit failure forced him to retire. The Portuguese Grand Prix was equally challenging, with a collision and a puncture leading to a sad 13th place finish. Despite these bumps, Norris had standout performances, particularly at the wet Turkish Grand Prix, where he recovered from a 5-place grid penalty to finish 8th and set the fastest lap. He concluded the season with strong finishes, 4th at the Bahrain Grand Prix and 5th at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, contributing significantly to McLaren's 3rd place finish in the Constructors' Championship. Norris ended the season 9th in the Drivers' Championship with 97 points, just 8 points behind his teammate, the experienced Carlos Sainz. His impressive performances secured his reputation as a rising star in Formula 1. In 2021, Norris remained with McLaren, partnering with Daniel Ricciardo. He started the season strong, qualifying 7th and finishing 4th at the Bahrain Grand Prix. At the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, a deleted qualifying time saw him start at 7th, but he surged to an impressive 3rd for his 2nd career podium. Norris continued his impressive form with a podium at Monaco and a strong 5th place finish at the Azerbaijan, despite a controversial grid penalty. At the Styrian Grand Prix, he started 3rd after a penalty for Bottas and finished 5th. At the following Austrian Grand Prix, we saw him start at 2nd and finish 3rd after a penalty for a racing incident with Sergio Perez. A standout moment came at the British Grand Prix, where Norris's performance moved him up to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. However, the Hungarian Grand Prix was a setback as he was forced to retire after a first lap collision triggered by Bottas. The Italian Grand Prix brought a resurgence, with Norris finishing 2nd behind teammate Ricciardo, marking McLaren's first 1-2 finish since 2010. At the Russian Grand Prix, Norris took his first ever pole position and led much of the race before a rain caused a dramatic late race drop to 7th, despite setting the fastest lap of the race. Norris finished the season with consistent point finishes, including a 3rd place start at the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He ended the season 6th in the Drivers' Championship with 160 points, his best career result to date, outperforming teammate Ricciardo. In February 2022, Norris signed a contract extension with McLaren, securing his place until at least 2025. He stepped up during pre-season testing in Bahrain, covering for teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who was out with COVID-19. The season started rough though, with both McLaren drivers finishing outside the top 10 in Bahrain. However, Norris scored points in Saudi Arabia and Australia, and secured the team's only podium of the season with a 3rd place finish at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The Miami Grand Prix saw Norris involved in a heavy crash with Pierre Gasly, bringing out the safety car. Thankfully though, he was uninjured from the crash. Despite battling tonsillitis, Norris finished 6th with the fastest lap at Monaco. He recovered from 15th to 7th at the Australian Grand Prix and started 4th in Hungary, finishing the 7th after a tough race. Penalties saw him start 17th in Belgium, finishing at just the 12th. He didn't qualify 3rd at Monza, but sadly ended up in 7th. His best result since Imola was at the Singapore Grand Prix, where he and Ricciardo finished 4th and 5th, briefly lifting McLaren to 4th in the Constructors' Championship. Norris scored in the Sao Paulo sprint, but was knocked out of the race due to a gearbox failure. He ended the season strong, with 6th place in the fastest lap at the Abu Dhabi, finishing 7th in the Drivers' Championship with 122 points, far ahead of Ricciardo's 37 points. In 2023, Norris partnered with rookie Oscar Piastri at McLaren. The season began with reliability issues in Bahrain, where Norris finished last after 6 pit stops. He had a tough start, hitting the wall in Saudi Arabia and finishing 17th again. However, he scored his first points in Australia, finishing 6th. Norris' seasons picked up with upgrades at the Australian Grand Prix, finishing 4th. He then took consecutive podiums with a 2nd place at the British Grand Prix, his home Grand Prix, and another 2nd in Hungary. At the Singapore Grand Prix, he held off Mercedes to finish 2nd, followed by podiums in Japan, the USA, and Brazil. Despite a heavy crash in Las Vegas, Norris finished the season strong, scoring 205 points to rookie Piastri's 97 points, and placing 6th in the Drivers' Championship. Ahead of the 2024 season, Norris secured his future with McLaren by signing a new multi-year contract. He kicked off the season with a solid 6th place finish at the Bahrain Grand Prix. The excitement ramped up at the Australian Grand Prix, where Norris started and finished 3rd, claiming his first podium of the season. The Chinese Grand Prix brought more action. Norris took the pole in the sprint, but dropped to 6th after a challenging start. In the main race, he qualified 4th, overtook Fernando Alonso, and strategically gained on Sergio Perez in the pits to finish a mighty 2nd, marking his 15th Formula One podium. The Miami Grand Prix was a mix of highs and lows. Norris retired from the sprint after a first corner collision with Alonso. However, he bounced back in the main race, qualifying 5th. As the race unfolded, pit stops shuffled the order, and Norris found himself leading the race. A timely safety car allowed him to pit and retain his lead, and he held off Verstappen at the restart to claim his maiden Grand Prix victory. This win tied him with legends like Patrick Deplaire and Mika Hakkinen for the most podiums before a first win. Lando Norris' significant milestone stands as a stepping stone for more future wins and even future world championships. I for one would love to see this young driver win more races, and I know many fans would also love that too. That wraps up our deep dive into the exhilarating career of Lando Norris on Track Talk inside Formula One. From his early days in karting to his first Grand Prix win, Norris' journey is a testament to talent, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Thanks for joining us as we explored his highs and lows, on-track battles, and off-track moments that have defined his path in Formula One. Stay tuned for more insights and stories from the world of Formula One. Until next time, keep your engines revving, stay safe, and tune in to our next episode.